Right, okay guys, just here right in front of the World War II Museum at Western Approaches. Going to go in and have a little look around today. So last week I done the tour of the Liver buildings, and I did say at the beginning of the tour that I'd been told years ago, I think it was by my dad, but I think I'd been told years ago that there was a bunker, a secret war bunker under the Liver buildings. Loads of you did comment on that. That was wrong, so it's actually in here, Western Approaches World War II Museum. I've never actually been here. I've seen it loads of times and actually worked over the road for a long period of time at one point and used to see it every day. I assumed it was just one floor, but the tour in the Liver buildings actually told me it's like 5 floors as well. So we're going to go in now and have a look. I'll try and give you some pictures from the air of where it is. I'll try, but yeah, we're going to go in and have a look, so I'll share it with you. Let's get in there.
The German military aims to sever these lifelines by deploying U-boats and other warships to ruthlessly target Allied merchant vessels. The Western Approaches Command was set up to ensure safe yet timely passage of convoys across the Atlantic, despite the daunting challenges posed by these threats.
In the tumultuous times leading up to World War II, Liverpool emerged as a linchpin in the British war effort. As Nazi Germany rose to power, an ominous cloud loomed over Europe, and appeasement policies proved futile. Soon, the world was engulfed in a conflict that would test the mettle of nations. Amidst the chaos and uncertainty, Liverpool's significance in the war effort became increasingly evident. The island status of the United Kingdom had its advantages, most notably a natural defensive moat. However, it also meant that crucial supplies had to traverse treacherous waters, stretching to the farthest corners of the British Empire. This vulnerability became palpable when the fall of France in June 1940 underscored the importance of the Western approaches. These approaches, the sea to the west of the British Isles, were the gateway through which all shipping in the Atlantic arrived at Britain's major ports. It was in Liverpool, as a new command, Western Approaches Command, was established to manage the strategies against the German U-boat threat and coordinate the safe arrival of convoys. Liverpool, Britain's primary transatlantic convoy port during the war, played a pivotal role in safeguarding the nation. The Royal Navy, Air Force and Royal Marines joined forces to combat the menace of German U-boats, aircraft and surface warships. The heart of the headquarters was the 2-story operations room, where every movement of ships, aircraft and U-boats across the vast North Atlantic was meticulously plotted. Decisions were made and orders prepared to defend convoys and attack U-boats. Liverpool's importance extended beyond its role in naval operations. By early 1941, the city had evolved into a major naval base and the headquarters of the Admiralty's entire Atlantic campaign. This transformation did not go unnoticed by the German Luftwaffe, which launched 68 bombing raids on Merseyside, causing substantial damage and loss of life. The raids culminated in the devastating May Blitz of 1941, further emphasising Liverpool's significance of the war. The German U-boat threat, exemplified during the happy times, posed a genuine peril to British survival. Over 2,200 British and Allied merchant ships fell victim to U-boats in the Atlantic alone, and thousands of German sailors perished in their efforts to cripple the British war effort. In the words of Winston Churchill, the only thing that ever really frightened me during the war was the U-boat peril. Liverpool's pivotal role in the Battle of the Atlantic and its unwavering resilience in the face of adversity helped turn the tide in the war that would shape the course of history. The city's contribution to the war effort, both as a vital port and symbol of resilience, is a testament to the indomitable spirit of a nation determined to prevail against all odds. Liverpool's strategic location allowed it to become the beacon of hope for a besieged nation. With Britain importing 55 million tons of food and raw materials each year,
was won, the most extended continuous military campaign in the Second World War. The staff, many of whom were women, worked tirelessly, both day and night, in secret, to help guide the convoys carrying supplies to and from the UK. We owe our victory to the brave men and women who worked at the western approaches and the essential role they had. The Battle of the Atlantic was a dominating factor throughout the war. If we had lost that, we would have lost everything. In 1945, the last U-boat was sunk, and the Battle of the Atlantic was finally over. Liverpool paid a heavy toll for its role in the battle, but through the war, their spirit and determination to keep living life day to day was an inspiration.
Okay, I'm just going to show you a picture of this bomb, unexploded bomb. Read that the plaque on the wall says this 500 kilo bomb was dropped by enemy aircraft during the intense air raid at Christmas 1940. This and 3 similar bombs struck Tyson's Joinery Works, Dryden Street, Liverpool, demolishing most of their premises. This bomb did not explode and was buried 22 foot underground. It was disarmed by the Royal Engineers Bomb Disposal Squad, including Sergeant William Geary of Liverpool. The bomb has been kindly donated to the Western Approaches project by Tyson's Construction. Okay, so this first room after the video is just like it says, you know, sweets, Parker's chocolates, the bomb I've just showed you, bike there, and other shops. It's like what a street would have looked like back in like 1940, I could imagine. Do you know what? I love things like this. It's a really good, like, I would say, like, nostalgic, strange feeling when you come down to things like this. Things that I really enjoy. Let's have another look round. So yeah, in this first confectionery shop, they have, as well as the old posters on the wall, like this one. Hitler will send no warning, so always carry a mask. And then you've got the front pages of the Daily Herald on the 25th of October 1941. Biggest air raids of all hit the north. You can read through that. 200 Nazi raiders are beaten. It's so cool, so cool. Again, another thing, it's really amazing to see, like, the Sunlight soap, who my friends just said was made in Port Sunlight close, but really old OXO tins, Coleman's mustard sign, but it's like a metal sign. Yeah, kind of takes your breath away, honestly. Really amazing. Recommend this place, really would. So this second room is largely based on recruitment, especially the women, female recruitment. Especially you see the video behind me, it's like the advertising video they use to encourage women in particular to join up. Okay, and now into the actual command bunker. Let's have a look around here. This room just looks absolutely amazing. I believe still set out how it would have been. So let's have a look around. So yeah, as we have a look around this room, there's all the typewriters. There's a most secret book which we had a look at, which has got like messages in it, but they've all been redacted, and they've got these sort of clipboards on which has got messages. So this one says, Margaret Jones, I was a teleprinter operator in the RAF. 2 of us were sent to London for an interview as the army was short of operators. We were sent to Barnington, North London. The camp was run by the Green Howards unit from Norfolk, I think. It was a strange unit. They were picking up ham radio messages from all over Europe. Our remit was to listen to messages from Berlin and Madrid. Everything was in code, so we took the messages and teleprinted them to Bletchley Park. I must have had quite a large part in the war effort, but at 19, I didn't really take it in. I was just doing my job and enjoying it. And there's several of them around the room. There's the frequency notebooks, as well as other things, uniform. One of a really interesting thing, there's a cabinet here with some items in, but it actually says this cabinet, the teleprinter room was closed off after the war. In 2020, guided by the original blueprints of the building, we uncovered it once again. The objects displayed here are those that were found in the room, left here since the site was closed in 1945. And you have, just to point you down, you have Wild Woodbine cigarettes, a polo lighter with engraved initials WC, hair comb, letter opener, and Parker's Quink ink bottle tops. Very, very interesting stuff. Really interesting. Oh, look at this main switch room. So yeah, the main switchboard room, and it's funny seeing these machines because you've seen them on films, haven't you? Where they pick the dial up and connect it to whatever, or whoever they're connected it to. Just really fascinating to see this sort of room, and then right behind, they turn around and pass the instructions, the message, whatever, into the office. So we'll head into there now. The women and men operating the radios of this room worked around the clock, listening to Morse code messages. They would translate each series of dots and dashes into letters, spelling out a cipher, which would then be passed to the cipher decoding officers to be converted to plain English. The Royal Naval Centre Communications Office would decide where this message was best sent in the building, and it would be delivered accordingly. This entire process would take around 15 minutes. Yeah. As we look around this coding room, you'll hear the Morse code going off behind us, but they've got a lot of the machineries, radios, that there's pictures on the wall as well of how it looked in 1942, and that looks like what is this corner here. One thing to spot, I did show you they've got the letters in Morse code around the wall at the top. However, on the picture it's not. there, because obviously that was June and they had to know it, something they had to know and wasn't written on the wall. But yeah, really, just another great room. Let's move on, because I think we've still got the best to come. Let's move on. So next up, the Chief of Staff room, where you'll see there's some of the Master's certificates, some medals, desk, plans, there's clipboards and stuff on the wall. But one of the most interesting things is uniform. Right here, an example uniform. One of the most interesting things here is there's actually a bedroom, which would say that whoever the person was here, the Chief of Staff, would likely stay here. It's the only bedroom I've seen here at the moment in any of the rooms, but yeah, another fantastic room, really is. Okay, now as we walk into the main operations room, this room just really does just take your breath away. It really does. As I've said before, in the like the switch room, it's the sort of thing that you only really see on films. You know, there's video playing in the background you can hear, giving you the right feel, but you just see this in films, really. You go in the offices there and stand around. Let me show you around the room now. Let me let you have a look.
Divided into two sections. On the left, we have the RAF SWAT, responsible for monitoring and tracking all aircraft. Divided into two sections. On the left, we have the RAF SWAT, responsible for monitoring and tracking all aircraft.
So yeah, looking around the room, you know, you've got the maps on the wall with the ladders going all the way up to make changes on the map. You've got like a chart with tide times and light times, enemy reports, and then these huge maps of the Pacific, again with ladder going across to get up and down and make the changes to it. Workstations. Aircraft charts. There's also, as you leave the main control room, there's also a amazing museum type of room, giving lots of information, mainly on the Great Patriotic War and Soviet sacrifice, regarding the Arctic convoys making it up to the Soviet Union to help on the Eastern Front. So just so interesting. I hope you all agree. I hope you're still following this and enjoying the video. I really am. In this next control room here, they have the Luftwaffe target maps of Liverpool. It's actually Liverpool and Wirral as we pan round. So this one is of Liverpool. But as we move round, there's Birkenhead, Camel Edge Shipyard, Lime Street Station here. Zackley Hospital there, and lots more. As you'll see on this, where they've got the docks, it's just pretty much orders were to hit all of it, it looks like. Right, so as we've headed upstairs from the control room, you come to looks like almost like living quarters. So it says Flag Lieutenants, that during the war this room was used by Max Horton's Flag Lieutenant Kay Halloran, a Wren, who was specially selected to serve as a personal assistant to the Commander-in-Chief. And here you have like living quarters, phone, sink, bed, bunk beds. So another bedroom. There was the one downstairs, wasn't there? And one up here. Okay, and I think last up, or almost, it's definitely one of the last ones. It's sign on the door, C&C, which is the Commander-in-Chief's room. Let's have a little look around. Okay, just while I'm in this room, I'll just read this to give them the respect they deserve. But it says the Commander-in-Chief's office. This was the office of the Commander-in-Chief of Western Approaches. The Commander-in-Chief's role was held by two men during the war, Admiral Sir Percy Noble and Admiral Sir Max Horton. Percy Noble held the position from February 1941 to November 1942. In November 1942, Horton was given the post of Commander-in-Chief of Western Approaches. Both men are credited as crucial figures in the Allied victory in the Atlantic. Max Horton, one of Britain's ablest submarine commanders during the First World War, was in complete charge of U-boat warfare in the North Atlantic during the Second World War. Max Horton retired soon after the war. Information on his experiences in both World Wars and later in life can be found throughout his office, and there's lots of information about him. Very, very interesting. Amazing room as well. You'll see it overlooks the command room as well, an operations room. So yeah, amazing. Next up, the Wren's Museum and their importance and significance in the war. As I walk through the Wren's Museum, there's just so much to take in. Stories of former Wrens that were stationed here. For example, there's one that one of them says that there used to be a rifle range here, but they haven't found it yet to date. They're still looking for parts of it, but there's just lots and lots to take in. So much to show, too much for me to show. But you know, just museum pieces, uniforms, well worth a visit. Well worth a visit. Take some information in. There's a cracking bit of information. It says, rumour has it, former Prime Minister Winston Churchill visited Western Approaches fairly regularly during the Second World War. He supposedly used this very bath during his visits. As told to us by former Wrens, who recalled giggling at the sounds of him splashing about. And there it is. And a fitting end to this video. Is the plaque marking the end of the war, which says on the 8th of May 1945, Prime Minister Winston Churchill made an announcement on the radio that the war in Europe had come to an end, following Germany's surrender the day before. The 8th of May became known as VE Day, or Victory in Europe Day. This was an extremely emotional day that millions of people have been waiting for. There was huge parties and people took to the streets to celebrate. However, it was also a time of great sadness and reflection. On the 15th of August 1945, VJ Day, Japan surrendered unconditionally and signed their surrender on the 2nd of September, marking the end of the Second World War. The long work carried out in this building was no longer needed. The site was cleared of much of its contents, rooms were sealed, and the doors were closed for all military purposes. Okay guys, so there you go. That was my video on my tour and visit to the World War II Museum at Western Approaches in Liverpool. Just an amazing place. I'm really shocked and I'm pleased that I hadn't been here before, if I'm honest. You'll see I'm doing this video from the main control room now, but yeah, it's an amazing place. I'd recommend it to anybody who has a slight interest in history, the war, just history in general. Get down here and have a look around. £13.50 for an adult. Children are free. There's concessions as well, which are a little cheaper. Well worth it though. You get to just walk around at your own pace, enjoy it. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you have too. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that button. Going to be doing lots more local tours and that as well. Got things on my plan, but yeah, for now, this was the World War II Museum at Western Approaches. I hope you enjoyed the video.